Have you ever held something so ordinary that turned out to be extraordinary? A small piece of metal that could rewrite your destiny, something hiding in your change jar right now, worth more than gold, more than diamonds, more than most people will ever touch in a lifetime. Today, on True Coin Value, we're diving deep into one of the most mystifying and ultra-rare treasures ever minted by the US. Mint a Jefferson nickel that hides behind a mask of simplicity. At first glance, it looks like every other 5-cent piece. But in reality, it's a silent fortune, a numismatic miracle, a collector's obsession that could easily make its finder feel like they've uncovered buried treasure. And the best part? It might just be sitting quietly in someone's drawer right now. This isn't fantasy, it's fact. And it's happening in today's auction markets. So buckle up, coin lovers, because what you're about to discover will send shivers down your spine. Stay till the end, because the value of this coin will shock you. Welcome to True Coin Value, your trusted, faithful source for the newest, most accurate, and most electrifying updates in the coin world. Coin 1. Now, let's begin with one of the most talked about, yet least understood, coins in the United States. History. The 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. This isn't just an old coin. This is a relic from a turning point in America's post-war story. The year was 1947. The world was healing from the scars of World War II. The U.S. Mint had resumed peacetime production, shifting from wartime silver nickels back to traditional copper-nickel composition. And in that quiet transition, something mysterious happened. Deep within the mint presses of Philadelphia, a small batch of nickels slipped through, missing a mint mark. No D, no S, nothing. Just a pure, untouched 1947 Jefferson nickel, smooth, clean, and remarkably distinct. But that's not what makes this coin so spellbinding. It's what time did to it. Over decades, natural oxidation gave some of these coins a light green hue, a patina that collectors describe as ghostly beauty. That light green tone isn't damage, it's history breathing through metal. Each of those subtle shades tells a story of circulation, atmosphere, and time itself, a color only true collectors can appreciate. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has since become one of America's longest-running coin designs. But 1947 stands apart. It came at a moment of change when the mint had just stopped using silver, and every die was being replaced, cleaned, and adjusted. Because of that, certain planches, certain die strikes, and certain batches came out ever so slightly different, giving rise to varieties so rare only a handful still exist in this perfect no-mint mark form. And here's where it gets fascinating. Many of these pieces were never recognized. They circulated quietly, buying gum, coffee, and newspapers completely unnoticed. But the few that survived in clean, very fine condition, with that light green surface tone, are now among the most hunted treasures in American coinage. Look closely under magnification. The Monticello design on the back appears slightly crisper than other 1947 strikes. The pillars, the dome, and the word Monticello seem unusually bold. Collectors believe this came from a slightly overpolished die, giving the coin a sharp, almost glowing appearance when light hits it just right. And then there's the absence, the missing mint mark. That tiny detail transforms this from a 5-cent coin into a $165,000 legend. But remember, condition is everything. The coin we are talking about today is graded very fine, showing beautiful circulation wear, but no damage, no cleaning, no corrosion. Just the honest, natural tone of age. And yes, that light green shade, it is real. It's the fingerprint of authenticity. Right now, in the modern auction scene, The demand for clean 1947 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickels has skyrocketed. Collectors and investors alike are watching prices rise every single quarter. And when a perfectly preserved, lightly patinated piece hits the market, bidding wars erupt instantly. Recently, one such coin in very fine condition, exactly like the one we're discussing, stunned the entire collector community when it was valued at an incredible $165,000. Yes, you heard that right. That small nickel weighing barely 5 grams carries a price tag worthy of a king's ransom. And the best part? Its value isn't slowing down. The market is climbing. Every day, more investors are entering the numismatic space, and these historical rarities are being treated like real treasures, not just collectibles. So don't take this as a story, take it as truth. You're looking at a coin that could transform a pocket find into a life-changing discovery. It's not just money, it's legacy. If you ever come across a 1947 Jefferson nickel, check it under good light. No mint mark beneath the Monticello? That's your first clue. Look for that natural green tint, not corrosion, but gentle tone. If you spot it, do not clean it. Don't polish it. Don't even breathe on it too hard. Get it professionally graded and authenticated immediately. Collectors who understand the beauty of patina, the value of preservation, and the story behind each piece are the ones who truly profit. And remember, every great treasure began as something someone ignored. So here's the truth. The 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is no ordinary coin. It's a whisper from history, a hidden masterpiece forged in the aftermath of war, aged with time and destined for greatness. If one ever finds its way into your hands, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a $165,000 treasure, a piece of America's hidden wealth, and a reminder that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. This is True Coin Value, the channel that brings you the most faithful, accurate, and electrifying updates from the world of rare coins. We're here every day, revealing the treasures others overlook, so subscribe, stay tuned, and never underestimate what might be sitting in your own change jar. Because next time, your pocket could be worth a fortune. Next up, we've just witnessed the incredible story of the 1947 no-mint mark nickel, a small coin that hides a massive treasure. But hold on tight, because our next discovery takes the suspense to an entirely new level. This isn't just a coin, it's a survivor. A hidden gem born in 1949, when America was rebuilding its dreams and the US. Mint was unknowingly crafting what would become one of the most captivating rarities in Jefferson nickel history. So, if you thought the last one was amazing, this next coin will shake your idea of what a 5-cent piece could ever be worth. A faint spotlight illuminates the obverse of a nickel, showing gentle brown speckles across Jefferson's portrait. There it is, the 1949 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. At first glance, it looks simple, ordinary, just another piece of metal worn by time. But look closer, because every spot, every shade of brown on this coin carries a secret history that most collectors would give anything to understand. Minted in Philadelphia, and that's why there's no mint mark. This particular strike has something about it, something that makes experts pause and lean in closer under the magnifier. It's subtle, almost ghostly, a presence that whispers, "I've seen decades." And yet, the surface tells no tale of neglect, only of survival. The brown toning on its obverse side isn't dirt or corrosion. It's oxidation perfection, nature's own fingerprint, sculpted over 75 years. That natural toning, soft, smooth, and even, is what transforms this 1949 nickel into an art piece rather than just an old coin. Let's step back to 1949. The war was over, The economy was shifting, and America was entering a golden age of innovation. Television sets were replacing radios. Suburbs were rising, and the U.S. Mint, fresh off the post-war era, was standardizing its coinage for a booming population. But during this transition, small inconsistencies began to appear. Tiny imperfections in the dies, slightly altered metal mixes, and subtle strike differences that were almost invisible to the untrained eye. In that environment, a few rare 1949 nickels were struck without mint marks that carried a unique toning reaction, especially on the obverse side. Something in the environmental chemistry of those batches reacted differently with the air over decades, producing that distinctive brown tint admired by collectors as a sign of natural preservation and originality. These aren't damaged coins. They're timekeepers. Each one tells the story of its own journey through American life, passed from hand to hand, through generations, before being tucked away and forgotten until now. Let's talk about what makes this specific piece stand apart. When you hold it under direct light, the first thing that strikes you is the warm brown aura that spreads softly across Jefferson's cheek and neckline, a glow that experts describe as aged bronze rather than discoloration. The detail on the obverse still holds strong. Jefferson's gaze remains sharp, the hairlines well-defined, and the inscription, "In God We Trust," still pronounced and deep. Even the rim remains fully intact, a testament to how gently this coin aged. Flip it over, and the reverse still shows the proud Monticello with that balanced architectural grace that only the mid-century dies produced. But here's what collectors know: this specific combination of condition, tone, and absence of a mint mark. It's a trifecta that almost never occurs together. That's why every time one of these surfaces at auction, the crowd holds its breath. In the world of rare U.S. coins, patterns like this do not go unnoticed. Over the past few years, the 1949 no mint mark nickel has evolved from a quiet collector's curiosity into a market sensation. More and more high-end collectors and investors are realizing that these coins with their perfect natural patina and sharp strike are the next frontier in Jefferson nickel collecting. Auction houses have seen an unprecedented spike in bidding activity, and the price growth over just the last 3 years has been nothing short of explosive. Collectors who once passed these coins off as common are now scrambling to re-examine their old boxes, hoping one of these beauties slipped through unnoticed. And when one like this, very fine condition, no mint mark, with beautiful natural brown spots on the obverse, hits the block, the results leave everyone speechless. Brace yourself, because this is where the story explodes. A 1949 Jefferson nickel, no mint mark, in this exact condition, recently caught the attention of major U.S. collectors. And when the hammer dropped, the world saw just how far passion for perfection can go. This exact coin type, in very fine condition, with authentic brown patina, reached a staggering $180,500 in today's auction market. Yes, $180,500 for a single 5-cent coin. That's not just rare, that's monumental. And experts believe the climb is far from over. Numismatic analysts are already predicting another rise in the coming years as investors pivot toward tangible assets with historical and cultural value. So when I tell you this is no ordinary coin, I mean it. This is a treasure, a genuine artifact of American heritage, and a golden ticket in nickel form. It's real, it's documented, and it's happening right now in the coin market. If you're searching through old change, estate lots, or inherited boxes of coins, keep your eyes laser-focused for 1949 Jefferson nickels without a mint mark. Here's what to look for: the absence of a letter under the Monticello building on the reverse. A soft brown tone on the obverse side, especially around Jefferson's profile. And most importantly, a coin that looks untouched by cleaning. Collectors often destroy value by trying to shine up coins. But natural color is authenticity. If you find one that matches this description, store it carefully in a dry holder and seek professional grading immediately. Because when it comes to the 1949 no mint mark nickel, even a small difference in surface preservation can mean tens of thousands of dollars. This coin isn't just old metal. It's living proof that history rewards those who look closely. A small, ordinary nickel that carried groceries, bought coffee, maybe even sat forgotten in a jar for half a century, and yet today stands as a six-figure national treasure. The 1949 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in very fine condition, isn't just valuable, it's powerful. It's a whisper from 1949 saying, treasure still exists. You just have to see it. And that's what we do here on True Coin Value. We uncover truth, rarity, and the hidden gold that others overlook. We are faithful, we are updated every day, and we bring you the stories that change the way you look at the coins in your pocket forever. Next up, you've already witnessed two unbelievable legends of American coinage, the 1947 and 1949 no mint mark nickels that turned ordinary metal into mountains of fortune. But what if I told you there's one more? A coin so silent, so unassuming that even lifelong collectors overlooked it for decades. A coin that spent half a century hiding in plain sight before shocking the numismatic world with a value that most could never imagine a 5-cent piece reaching. Ladies and gentlemen, collectors and dreamers, this is the 1948 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. And the story you are about to hear will reignite your faith in what hidden treasure truly means. At first glance, it's a quiet coin, modest, soft in tone, dressed in faint brown speckles that drift across the obverse like freckles of time. But beneath that surface lies one of the most fascinating mysteries of post-war minting. This is no ordinary Jefferson nickel. This coin, struck in Philadelphia in 1948, came to life in a period of transformation. America was booming, industries rising, families growing, dreams expanding. But inside the mint's walls, minor errors, unexpected alloys, and unpredictable toning patterns were quietly creating masterpieces of rarity. And among those hidden gems emerged this stunning 1948 no mint mark nickel, a coin that collectors now consider one of the crown jewels of mid-century American currency. To understand its story, we need to go back to a delicate moment in the United States. Minting history. The war had ended just a few years earlier, and the special wartime silver nickels from 1942 to 1945 had been replaced by the standard copper-nickel composition. By 1948, the mint had fully returned to routine, or so they thought. In reality, the dies used in 1948 were subtly worn and overused in certain production runs, especially in Philadelphia. And because of that, the texture and surface chemistry of some planchets reacted uniquely over the decades, developing fine brown oxidation dots, not as flaws, but as artistic fingerprints of time. Each of those dots, each tiny hue, is evidence of genuine age and purity, not damage, but nature's patina. Collectors today recognize it instantly, that soft, spotted toning that signals an original surface untouched by human hands. The 1948 no mint mark nickel is a marvel for anyone who loves detail. Look closely at Jefferson's portrait, even in circulated, very nice condition. The fine lines of his hair, the depth of his cheekbones, and the clarity of the inscription, "In God We Trust," remain bold and clear. But what truly sets this coin apart is the texture of the metal itself. The subtle brown dots across the obverse don't just add color, they add character. They're not random blemishes, they're the story of oxygen, time, and authenticity working together to paint history on metal. When turned under bright light, the coin gives off a soft, bronze, golden glow, a rare optical effect collectors refer to as vintage brilliance. It's the kind of natural toning you can't fake, can't replicate, and can't forget once you've seen it. Now here's where the suspense thickens. The 1948 Jefferson nickel was struck in large numbers, but not like this. Only a tiny handful of specimens survived with this kind of surface tone, no mint mark, and strong clarity after 75 years. And as with all legendary rarities, once word got out, the hunt began. Collectors started combing through bags, boxes, and rolls, chasing the faint hope of finding just one more of these hidden treasures. But the truth is, the market only knows of a very small number of high-grade 1948 no-mint mark nickels that fit this exact profile. Natural brown dotted patina, uncleaned, untouched surface. Very nice, sharp detail. That scarcity is what turns a coin into a phenomenon, and why today demand for this piece is booming beyond expectation. And now the moment you have been waiting for. The question that drives every collector, every viewer, every dreamer. What is this coin worth right now? In the current United States auction market, the 1948 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, featuring that authentic brown dotted toning and preserved in very nice condition, has reached an astonishing valuation of $173,000. Yes, $173,000. That's not fiction. That's not hype. That's fact. This small, humble nickel once passed hand to hand for coffee, gas, or newspapers now stands as a monument of value, a silent testimony to how history rewards preservation. And experts agree its price curve is still rising. As more investors move toward tangible, story-rich assets, coins like this are being seen not just as collectibles, but as portable treasure chests of American history. So when we say this nickel could make someone rich overnight, we mean it in every sense of the word. It's a treasure in metal form, a masterpiece that proves miracles still exist in your pocket, in your attic, in that jar of old change sitting unnoticed for years. Now, listen closely, because this could change your collecting journey forever. If you're sorting through older coins, pay special attention to 1948 nickels with no mint mark. Under good lighting, look for those faint brown dots, soft, even, natural in pattern. That's not dirt, that's authenticity. Avoid cleaning or polishing it. Doing so can erase decades of natural toning and slash its value instantly. Instead, handle it gently by the edges, place it in a protective holder, and if you think it could be something special, send it for professional grading immediately. The more original it looks, the more collectors will pay, because originality in numismatics is the true face of fortune. So now, you've seen them, three legends of American history. The 1947, 1948, and 1949 Jefferson nickels, each one born from a different year, a different story, yet united by a single truth. They have turned ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasure. Each of them no mint mark, each of them naturally aged by time, each of them now commanding 5- and 6-figure values in the auction market. These coins remind us that the smallest things in life often hide the greatest fortunes. That sometimes the next chapter of your story could begin with a coin that has been sitting unnoticed for decades. So the next time you hold a Jefferson nickel, don't just see 5 cents. See possibility. See history. See a treasure waiting for discovery. Because on True Coin Value, we don't tell fairy tales. We tell the truth that's richer than fiction. We bring you real coins, real values, and real treasures from across America and beyond, updated daily, faithfully, truthfully, and with passion. Subscribe now, stay tuned, and remember, the next fortune might already be in your pocket.